Another Russian ammunition depot goes up in a ball of fire, further weakening the logistics of Russian occupation forces in Ukraine. Ukrainian strike drones have targeted an ammunition depot of the Russian occupation forces in Dovzhansk, Luhansk region. Eyewitness footage captures a large fire and the sound of ammunition detonating. Previously, local social media channels reported drone flights around midnight. There is currently no official information about which depot of the Russian invaders was blown up that night or what was stored there. Meanwhile, any loss of ammunition of various types affects the enemy's ability to shell the positions of the Ukrainian defense forces. Previously, the Special Operations Forces also used FP-2 strike drones to hit the Occupiers' logistics facilities in the temporarily occupied territory. In particular, railway fuel tanks near Dovzhansk and a supply depot near Luhansk were targeted. A small anti-submarine ship of the Project 1124-M Albatross-M from the Russian Black Sea Fleet was on fire in temporarily occupied Sevastopol. The Crimean Wind Monitoring Channel reported on this. According to the Telegram channel, the fire was spotted on November 3rd in Sukarna Bay. An eyewitness sent a video showing smoke rising from the ship. However, it was not immediately possible to determine the type of Russian warship because of the camouflage nets covering its superstructure. Later, the subscribers reported that it was a small anti-submarine ship of the Albatross-M Project 1124-M. At the same time, it should be noted that it is not yet known whether it was really a fire or smoke from the engine starting after a long period of inactivity. The Russian Black Sea Fleet has 4 such ships built between 1982 and 1989, including Muromets, Suzdalets, Kasimov, and Isk. It is not yet clear which of them was on fire. The monitoring channel notes that in 2024, Russians withdrew 2 of the above-mentioned ships to the Novorossiysk naval base, and 2 remained in temporarily occupied Sevastopol. The ships of this project are designed to fight submarines in the coastal zone, protect naval bases, and escort ships. In 2018, these ships were upgraded with RBU 6000 Smerch-2 rocket launchers to use new missiles. Ukrainian special units released footage showing strikes from the night before. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces struck Russian logistics in occupied Luhansk overnight. Near Dovzhansk, they hit a fuel unloading site. In Rozkishna, they destroyed a supply depot. The attacks disrupted logistics for Russia's center group, creating a fuel shortage. FP-1 or FP-2 drones were used. Ukraine continues to regularly strike occupied territories, hitting military positions, ammunition depots, and supply lines to degrade Russian forces and disrupt their operations. These ongoing attacks demonstrate Kiev's persistent pressure deep behind enemy lines. Ukrainian forces located a Russian command post, and on the same day, aviation wiped it out with heavy guided bombs, reportedly taking out Russian personnel, including officers. The Ukrainian Air Force continues to operate with near total impunity, conducting daily strikes deep into Russian-occupied areas and even Russian territory itself. Despite Moscow's repeated claims of air superiority, Ukrainian jets and drones are freely targeting military bases, supply depots, and key infrastructure without significant interference. Each successful sortie underscores a glaring failure of Russia's invasion strategy: its inability to achieve air domination. Russian air defenses have proven incapable of fully countering Ukraine's increasingly sophisticated aerial operations. Ukrainian pilots are exploiting gaps in radar coverage and weak air defense deployment, striking with precision and returning safely. The daily nature of these attacks not only inflicts material losses, but also erodes the morale of Russian forces, showing that even far from the front lines, they remain vulnerable. This persistent air campaign highlights the contrast between Ukraine's growing operational capability and Russia's strategic miscalculations. Far from controlling the skies, Russian forces are being forced to scramble defensively, while Kyiv continues to maintain freedom of maneuver in the air, a decisive factor in the ongoing conflict. FPV drone operators from the wings of Omega Special Detachment successfully destroyed a Russian howitzer. Locating and destroying Russian howitzers is vital for Ukrainian forces. It cuts enemy firepower, protects civilians and troops, preserves momentum for offensives, and denies artillery superiority that would stall advances. And from time to time, we have this type of combination: cringe and attention-grabbing in the same time. A Japanese mercenary fighting in Putin's army against Ukraine talks about why he got baptized.
Is that a talisman you have? A talisman and a cross. Are you an Orthodox Christian? Orthodox?
Yes.
Why?
Because if I die, it...
Do you speak in...
I wanted my soul to go to the same place as my friends' souls in case of my death. That's why I was baptized in the Orthodox Church in December.
And while the U.S. is deploying forces near Trinidad and Tobago, just across from Venezuela, there is a direct threat from Russia to those U.S. forces. Alexei Zhuravlyov, the first deputy chairman of the Russian State Duma Committee on Defense, stated that he does not rule out supplying Oreshnik ballistic missiles to Venezuela. He claimed this in a comment to the Russian propaganda outlet Gazeta.ru. Zhuravlyov admitted that Russia continues to supply weapons to Caracas amid escalating tensions between Venezuela and the United States. According to him, Russia is the country's key military technical partner and supplies a full range of weapons, from small arms to combat aircraft. He noted that the volume and range of these supplies are classified, so, in his words, the Americans may be in for some surprises. Zhuravlyov also confirmed that Moscow has already delivered several divisions of S-300VM Ante-2500 surface-to-air missile systems to Caracas, as well as Pantsir-S-1 and Buk M2E systems. He added that no international obligations prohibit Russia from supplying Venezuela with modern long-range weapons, including Caliber missiles. It was recently reported that Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro has requested military assistance from Russia, China, and Iran. In particular, he asked Moscow for missiles, radar systems, and support in aircraft repairs amid the growing U.S. military presence in the Caribbean. A day earlier, Russia ratified a new strategic treaty with Venezuela that deepens military and political cooperation between the two countries. As part of this partnership, several large-scale projects are being implemented. For instance, in July, a munitions factory was opened in the state of Aragua, a project that had been under construction for nearly 2 decades since its initial promise. In addition, Moscow has gained rights to explore natural gas and oil deposits valued at billions of dollars, further strengthening its economic influence in the region. Regarding the Oreshnik system, the Russians are already deploying it in other countries' territories, including Belarus.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.